Okay, we're about to start the 1977 IFL championship game. It's going to be Chiba City versus Steubenville. Both teams win 11-3. A lot of similarities. Both have like 1,000-yard advantage over their opponents during the regular season in offense, and both struggled a bit with turnovers. So, a couple of things to keep an eye on there. We should be kicking off very shortly. Chiba City will be looking for their total of their third championship, second since Dennis has taken over. They also won before that with Alan Dieter in 71 or 70. Let me think for a second. 70. And this will be Steubenville's first Super Bowl. So good luck to Dale in his first Super Bowl, and Dennis also in his third, I believe, overall. He's won the 74 Super Bowl, lost 75, and here he's back in 77. So we're just about ready to get started. Take a quick look at the regular season while we're waiting here. See Chiba City with 326 in points. They're like 60 points more scored on offense than Steubenville, and 50 less, or 50 more points allowed. So really even teams. And again, 4609 for their yards, 3575. Steubenville has a lower yards for and against. And you'll see a third down percentage is different too, 38-31. And Steubenville and their opponents are both, I believe, under 30. And tons of sacks for both teams, 48. 331 pass attempts, 48 sacks. And only 5.7. So Steubenville is going to have to protect Jim Hart. And the same goes true for Chiba City. They're going to have to protect Fouts and Livingston. Take a quick look at Steubenville here. See, they were 42, 95, 32, 52, and third down percentage 28, 27. So both teams have very nice yardage advantages. And like I say, they both get a lot of sacks, 55 sacks. 343 pass attempts for the Celts. So Steubenville also has a great pass rush. And as I mentioned, both teams have a little trouble with turnovers working against them. So if one of those teams ends up close in yardage and ends up +2 in turnovers, that's a good bet for who might pull off the win here. Look at John Kimbrough's punt returning. 1 fair catch, 30 punt returns, 352, 3 touchdowns. And he had one in each of the 2 playoff games so far for Steubenville. So, very nice punt returner. All right, we're about ready for game time here. All right. And looks like Steubenville's got the ball to begin. Kimbrough, also kickoff returner, gets a 25-yarder on a short kickoff, and nice field position starting for Steubenville. They've got great wideouts. I mean, Ken Burrow out here, one of the better cards in the set. As you'll look, 43 catches at 19 yards a catch. Loaded. Catches everything short and long, and just loaded with long gains. You'll see Lynn Swan's got a great card. And for Chiba City, it's Alfred Jenkins, and don't remember their second receiver off the top, but they've also got good wideouts. Gary Shirk's got a lot of long gains, not a frequent target, but he's got a lot of long gains and could come up with a big play today. Guess wrong, especially as well. So here we go. Jim Hart out. It's going to be a line buck. Wayne Morris guessed wrong. He's going to get a yard. They'll set up 2nd and 9. Interesting to see how much free safety blitz is being shown by either side. Both teams had a lot of sacks. Last week, we saw Dale get quite a few sacks in the conference championship game against Wilmington, and several of them were flat pass sacks. And you have to have 5 guys on the line to trigger, so had some linebacker action. Here's an off tackle. McCutcheon guessed wrong. He's going to lose a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Probably see the 3-3-5 for Chiba City. Steubenville stayed in the pro set quite a bit last week in passing situations. You see a lot of teams, of course, in 77 still do that because got some good receivers out of the backfield normally. And sometimes teams will stay in that set so they can run the ball as well. Three wide receiver set, and you look, Steve Odom comes in, great 3rd wide receiver, and Dennis will be showing blitz. He's got a 5 as the nickelback, so Odom's got a tough defender on him. Testerman got a lot of action last week on 3rd and long, but he was playing with the lead quite a bit of that game. Short to Swan, some blitz, free safety, and a linebacker. It's going to be blocked. Incomplete. 1X on the pass rush die, so Steubenville was able to get the blocking and get a nice situation there with a sniper scope. Been able to complete the 3rd and 10. Here's a punt return. Bruce Harper gets a nice return. And Steubenville's going to take a penalty here. It's running into the kicker. So it's going to be 4th and 5 as they will repunt this instead of settling with a nice 28-yard return by Bruce Harper. There's Ray Guy out for the punt. And Harper will maybe field it from around his 14, and he gets it out to the 22. It's going to set up Chiba City for their first possession. Going to check the broadcast, make sure I've got the screen shared. We got Dan Fouts on to start. He's got limited attempts as a whole. We may see Mike Livingston at some point in the 2nd quarter, early 3rd. In a situation like this in 74 with Charlie Johnson, I believe it was, limited carry pass attempts coming into the Super Bowl. And he basically was on his last attempt as the game ended in overtime. So Dennis has been in this situation before. Both these teams have quite a few running back attempts. So there's an off tackle right, Cleo Miller. Linebacker help, guessed wrong, 9-yard pickup. The 2nd and 1. Pete Johnson in the game. See Pete Johnson more on short yardage type situations I've noticed for Chiba City. There's a line by Pete. And Chiba City's offsides on the play. Or no, Steubenville was offsides on the play. Chiba City takes the flag. Curtis Johnson's out for the half. It's going to put a 0 in at right cornerback, Eddie Brown. Steubenville's not an easy team to throw against. They've got a great secondary. cards are good, and they have a lot of sacks and a lot of interceptions. So Chiba City from their own 36, 1st and 10. It's got a backup in Biddy Barnes at right corner. So we've got fours at both corners, and as you see, Jenkins and Stingley, really great wide receiving core, and Benny Cunningham's very good tight end in 1977 as well. And you see Cleo Miller in here on 1st down. Like I say, Pete Johnson typically is more of a short yardage guy for a lot of the Chiba City games I've seen. Pick up of 2 or 3 now that I see it. It's going to set up 2nd and 7. One of the things about Fouts, great card. He's got a lot of interceptions. 15 is his fumble snap. There's no gain on the play for stretch and on an in run. As you see, 6, 7, 8, right in the middle of the card, 17, 16, 13. Very nice guess wrong card for Mike Strachan. One of the heroes of the 74, I believe it was, Chiba City Blues championship team. So we got 3rd and 7, pro set from their own 39. Both these teams will go for it on 4th down. Steubenville often, because their field goal kicker struggles a little bit outside the 22, and Dennis is just Dennis, as you know. He will go for it on 4th down from time to time, regardless. We'll see if Steubenville shows blitz. They didn't a whole lot in some of the games I was facing or watching them. They have a natural pass rush with a great defensive line, so they didn't always show blitz. But this is one of those situations. We'll see what they're. He may be working on his lineup here, covering for the injury at right cornerback. Getting his formation set here. Staying in the 4-3, no blitz. Now down in distance like this, if you go to the nickel, you're down to his 4 as your nose tackle with the adjustment, and you put the box in on 8. So those are thoughts Dale was considering when choosing a defense here. It's going to be short to Cleo Miller. 1 blitzer coming. Defender X plus 15. He's got to complete it. We got a flag on the play. Offsetting penalties. We'll replay 3rd and 7. Same setup for each team. Short to Cleo Miller. Guessed right. No blitzing. It's going to be a pickup of 10. Injury on the play. Looks like Dyer and Talbert, the right tackle, is going to be out. Doug Sutherland in. Ball at the Chiba City 49. Just under 10 minutes left. 1st quarter, no score. It's going to be short to Stingley. Guessed right. A couple of blitzers incomplete. That would have been receiver guessed wrong. Dale's going to adjust the computer manager real quick. I'm going to refill coffee. I'll be right back. Blitz being shown here, 2nd and 10. Complete blitz, and it's an in-run stretch. He's going to get 4. It's going to set him 3rd and 6 at the Steubenville 47. Possible 4-down territory here for Dennis. He'll stay in the pro set, 3rd and 6. Dale stays in the 4-3. There's a flat pass. Benny Cunningham to the right. It's going to be incomplete. That sets up 4th and 6. That's a little bit farther from where we're at. Dennis is going to punt. See Greg Coleman out for the attempt. Mandatory penalty, 5-yard offside. It's going to set up 4th and 11. It's 42 yards, and he's going coffin corner, staying away from Kimbrough, and it's going to be a 29-yarder to the 23. And with 8:42 left, first quarter, Jim Hart out for a second possession. Here's McCutcheon for a loss of 1. McCutcheon, one of those heavy carry kind of running backs, get you 25, 30 carries in a game if you want it. And Dale usually says, yes, sir, I will take that 25, 30 carries from McCutcheon this game. 4-3 blitz being shown. There's a flat pass left to McCutcheon. It's going to be guessed wrong because the defender was gone, I believe. The linebacker was out of the zone, but I don't believe he had the blitzer coming from the other linebacker spot, and that's what triggered the guess wrong on that play. So 3rd and 2, pro set, 4-3, no blitz. Vince Lombardi is saying this is a long pass. Down 13 yards. Shirk out there fishing in that offensive left flat zone. A couple plays in a row, picks up 9 and then 13. Working over there against the 6, who is Ted Washington Sr. Here's short to Burrow. It's going to be guessed right. Picked up 14, and Steubenville moving all the way down to the 42 of Chiba City. They're going to have to get at least 20 more yards before they get into nice field goal range, though. John Smith really struggles from the 23 farther out. You really need to be like at the 22 and in for him to be an effective field goal kicker. So Steubenville could be in 4-down territory anytime from here on. Here's McCutcheon. He gains 3. Linebacker help there. 2nd and 7. You'll see Morris, Testerman rotating quite a bit at fullback. McCutcheon almost always the halfback. 4-3, blitz being shown. Off tackle left, McCutcheon. Defense calls run, and he picks up 6. It's going to set up 3rd and 1 with Chiba City 33. McCutcheon on the snap on the run fumble there, 19 versus 987. If you have a running back that fumbles on a 1 through 987, you probably deserve to lose the ball. Here's McCutcheon getting 2 on a being keyed, but gets it off the defensive cards and gets a new set of downs. 1st and 10, Chiba City 31. First real scoring threat. Chiba City got in Steubenville territory. There's a 13-yard guess wrong flat. Wayne Morris catching it, and Jim Hart 4 of 5, 49 yards. Now they're in field goal range. There's a line, but guess wrong. Morris, he's going to get a good block and go for 7. Forrest Blue in there to make the block. Second and 3, blitz being shown. Clarence Harmon now in at fullback. He's a very nice receiving running back. Short to shirt. It's going to be a dump off. McCutcheon, touchdown. Alan Page almost got through to the quarterback. He had a 1 through 48 shot on that one. That's pretty high, and it was a random 72. It's one of those where had you not been showing or bringing the free safety, you'd have gotten a better sack chance on that 2D roll. But you get a lot more chances, just not as high on the 2 and 3D rolls if you have the free safety blitz. And in that situation, that kind of worked against Chiba City. And John Smith hits the extra point. So early 7-0 lead for Steubenville. 3 minutes left, first quarter. Touchback on the kickoff. Fouts back out. Always important to get that early lead if you can. So Steubenville able to do that early in this game. There's an off-tackle draw left. Cleo Miller picking up 6. Second and 4. There's a long pass, gets wrong, incomplete. Tim Fox, free safety 5, knocks down the pass on that one. Roll of 4. So it'll be 3rd and 4. Chiba City at their own 26. You see the straight out interception there on 7 with one man in the long zone. Excellent interception chances for Steubenville. 4-3 Strachan and Cleo Miller. Short to Stingley. It's going to be guessed right. And Fouts makes the completion, 14-yard pickup, gets Chiba City out to their own 40. Just under 2 minutes left, first quarter. Five fast attempts so far for Fouts. There's an in-run right stretching and no pickup. Second and 10. Seen Stretch's card before. He's definitely a threat to pick up first down on second and 10. Guessed wrong. I believe 17 chances on in run. Chiba City Celts in the home green uniforms. They were the higher seed, although there's really no home field advantage. And the Chiba City Blues in their white and blue. And we got a user drop. Let's see if we've got a technical difficulty coming up here. Yep, looks like we've got a technical difficulty. And run stretching. Guess wrong. It's going to get 9. It's going to set up a very makeable 3rd and 1. See how Fouts and Dennis want to play this here. Pete Johnson, the short yardage back, is in. Good receiving back. Poole also in. Fouts may take a shot, thinking 4th and 1 is one we're going to go for. It's going to be a line by Pete Johnson. He's going to get a nice pickup, 18 yards. Pete Johnson's first carry of the game, and Steubenville, first major threat against their defense as Chiba City moves to their 33. Steubenville holding a 7-0 lead. Here we come to the last play of the first quarter. Off tackle Cleo Miller holding against Chiba City is going to knock him back out to the 43. And we'll switch into the field here. And whoever had 7-0 wins the first quarter Super Bowl pool. So 1st and 20. Both wide receivers get it off their cards. They've got a very good shot if they catch it of getting 17, 18, even the first down. It's going to be short to Jenkins. Blitz coming. And he picks up 15, beating Benny Barnes. You've seen Curtis Johnson probably not be able to make the play there. He's only a 5, so Benny Barnes didn't really hurt him on that play. 2nd and 5. Chiba City gets out of the hole and gets back into Cockcroft's comfortable 55-60% field goal range. And run Strachan guessed wrong. It's going to get 3. 5 for 16 so far for Mike Strachan. We'll see Pete Johnson back in the game here, 3rd and 2. Pull in at halfback. No blitz being shown. Let's go to 0 in at right tackle, Sutherland. Dyer and Talbert left early in the first quarter. So short pass guessed wrong. Benny Cunningham, it's going to be picked off. There's that nice interception card coming into play for Steubenville. What a return will be. Not too long. He gets it back 10 yards. Dave Elbendorf with the pick. And Steubenville's defense holds on the first major threat in their territory. 13 and a half minutes left. Steubenville will take over, up 7-0 from their own 24. There's an in-run guess wrong, McCutcheon. 4 yards. It's got that big plus 48 on 2. Nice solid yardage on most everything except 5 and 6. 2nd and 6. It's going to be a flat right to Shirk. Loaded zone. Incomplete. Picks aren't bad for Steubenville, 2 through 7 and 12, kind of average for this card set, or for Chiba City, I should say. Big 3rd and 6, pro set 4-3 blitz. Then it's asking for a brief second here. Now, this was a consistent running situation for Steubenville last week, playing for versus the Wilmington Generals, but they were ahead a lot of that game too. But they did run it quite a bit on 3rd and 6 or so. No containment with the middle linebacker 5. That's 100%. If he moves the free safety up, he'll get that 100% containment, but he is showing blitz, so you don't necessarily want to show blitz, not blitz too often, and leave that sniper scope going. It'll be a look into McCutcheon. It's going to be a pickup of 10. Could have used the middle line or free safety in the middle linebacker zone there because linebacker 6 came up and Steubenville's got a first down out to their own 38. Short to Burrow. It's going to be guessed right. Incomplete, but Chiba City holding. Nope, it was Steubenville holding on the play, so it's going to be accepted by Chiba City. Be 1st and 20. Steubenville at their own 28. Three wide receiver set. Steve Odom. Testerman could very well run it from these formations as well. As I mentioned, here we go. Testerman picks up 9. So it's going to set up second and 11. Both these coaches will run the ball on second or third and long, and even on first and long, as we saw there. He's going to stay in the 3 wide receiver set. Testerman in at fullback. 3-3-5 set again for the Chiba City Blues. Off tackle right, King Testerman, and he loses a yard. Got his fumble check up to 76 there with the correct key, but unable to pry it loose. It's going to set up third and 12, though. Chiba City showing blitz. It's going to be a long pass, incomplete, no men in zone. 1X on the sack die again. So no pressure. Sniper scope in play. Long gain on 4, 6, and 11 straight out. Gets very close, but incomplete. Here's a punt to Bruce Harper. Dangerous returner. Only gets 1 there. Lots of yards on Bruce Harper's punt return card. Chiba City takes over at their own 19. Just over 10 minutes left first half, down 7-0. Testerman in run, or stretch and in run in. He hits the dreaded 5. So it'll be second and 10. So we have flat right to Cunningham. Incomplete. Penalty on the play. 9-yard holding penalty against Chiba City. Steubenville's going to think about it. Do they want? Yeah, they want the yards. Consider going third and long, but Fouts is so good. Big interceptions. Here's an end run stretch, and he's going to pick up 13. He loses the ball. Chiba City's going to fall on it, and Cleo Miller adds a yard, setting up a third and 5. Strachan with a 72 fumble chance loses the ball, guessed wrong, and Chiba City falls on it. So it's a third and 5, staying in the pro set, 4-3 for Dale. There's long to Stingley, no men in zone, guarded by a 4. Incomplete. And pretty much the same role there, the 5. Same one we just saw for Steubenville on the long pass, no men in zone. And Greg Coleman back out to punt, 42 yards. The dangerous John Kimbrough will not return this one. It'll be Eddie Brown. And he loses 5 yards. There's that great Los Angeles Rams punt return coverage coming into play. And Steubenville with the ball, first and 10, throwing 29, just under 9 minutes left in the first half. Apologize for the vocals, got a little allergy issue going on here. There's nothing for McCutcheon on an off tackle wrong. Kind of like his in-run column where he's got the 5 and 6 with nothing. He's got a big 0 there on 7, guess wrong. But as you see, most of the plays got really nice yardage. Only 2 on 9, but 5 yards or better on everything else. Blitz being shown, 4-3, second and 10. Off tackle right, McCutcheon. He's going to get 6 and get them out of containment. It'll be 3rd and 4. See Morrison at fullback on the shorter down and distance. Usually Testerman seems to be in on the single fullback or longer down and distance situations. Blitz being shown on 3rd and 4 by the by the Blues here. Guess right, short to Swan, incomplete. Dennis making the correct call, avoiding the receiver reading. We'll see Ray Guy back out to punt. And good punt returner Harper gets 0 on that one. Right by his plus 28. So we've had one score in the game so far. Steubenville leading 7-0. Here's a pass rush, no men in zone. 1 man, 2 men coming. Long pass, guessed right. No man. It's going to be a long gain. Daryl Stingley gets 36. Flips the field and inside the Steubenville territory at the 45 here. They've had some good penetrations before. One drive ended on a interception, and they had to punt from just inside midfield. So I believe this is the 3rd time they've been inside the 50, but you have to get on the scoreboard. It's a 3-yard game for Cleo Miller, be 2nd and 7. Off tackle left, Miller will be guessed wrong. He's going to get 4, sets up 3rd and 3. Off tackle left, draw. 8-yard pickup for Cleo Miller. 1st and 10 at the Steubenville 30. Off tackle Miller, 5-yard pickup. Guessed right on that one. Here's Miller again, off to the left tackle. It's going to get 15 all the way down to the 10-yard line of the Celts. 3:18 left in the half, 1st and 10. Linebacker Cleo Miller been getting a lot of runs on this drive. Picks up 5. Sutherland unable to make the play. There's one Dyer Talbert could have helped on. 9 carries, 58 yards. Quite a few of the yards on this drive for Cleo Miller. Second goal from the 5. Full house. It's got Robert Miller also in. He doesn't come in all that often. Cleo Miller, of course, Pete Johnson. One of the better guessed right fullbacks of the card set. Blitz being shown. Off tackle right, Johnson, guessed right. And there's a 2-yard loss. Doug Buffone making the play. Had to be a 4, and that's all he is. but that's all that was needed. Huge play would have got him down to the 1 and set up a 3rd and goal from the 1, but instead 3rd and goal from the 7. So big 6-yard play there by Doug Buffone. Four three blitz, short to Alfred Jenkins. Touchdown. Sniper scope came up, so we did not go to the receiver card there. And Don Cockcroft comes on to tie the game. And with 2 minutes left in the first half, 7-all. There's a kickoff to the 5 after the penalty, and to the 3 after the 5-yard penalty, and Eddie Brown with a nice punt return or kickoff return gets it out 30 yards to the Steubenville 33. So just under 2 minutes left. Formation limitations not so tight here with less than 2 minutes left. We'll see if Dennis shows blitz. No, not on the first play. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Interim run, guess wrong, McCutcheon. It's going to lose 3 and gets out of bounds. Second 13. Four three blitz on defense. Pro set for the Celts. Off tackle wrong, McCutcheon comes up with a 5-0 game. We'll see if Dennis stops the clock here. No stoppage of play. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Third 13. Steve Odom into the game. 3 wide receiver set. And it'll be a short pass to Odom, but there's going to be a sack. Ted Washington coming from the linebacker spot. No, that was John Matusik forcing the sack. Ted Washington will get credit for it there. And here's the punt, 57 yards, and that'll be over the head and bounce an additional 3, so a net 60 punt for Steubenville, all the way down to the Chiba City 15, 1 minute remaining in the half. Now, if you're Dennis, you really don't want to have to punt to Kimbrough here from this deep or go out of bounds. So you really want to get a first down or more. There's an off tackle left, Pete Johnson. He's going to lose 2. We'll see if Dale decides to take a timeout here. Field position such a big factor in this era. No timeout, 37 seconds left. Still plenty of time to get a couple of timeouts and get the ball back for either a punt return or a short field and maybe get a long field goal attempt. Here's the draw. Pete Johnson's going to get 8. It's going to set up 3rd and 4. Make it a little tougher for Dale to choose to call a timeout, but he still might. Not yet. There's a draw left. Pete Johnson will not get the first down, only gets one, 4th and 3. And you'll see the timeout here. And you'll see a coffin corner kick almost for sure with the amount of time remaining. He gets a nice one too. Out of bounds. Steubenville from their own 41, 1 play left. Always a possibility, half cannot end on a defensive penalty. Always a possibility of getting an additional play, but very low probability of that. More than likely, won't see too much risk coming from Dale. He'll just go off tackle Morris, and that's going to end the first half. We're tied at 7. And I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. 7-7, excellent ball game in progress. Okay, we're going to take a quick peek at the halftime stats. 192-97 total yard advantage for Chiba City. The interception deep in Steubenville territory kind of evens some of that out. No lost fumbles. Both quarterbacks around 50%, 5 of 10, 82 yards for Fouts, 6 of 10, 70 yards for Jim Hart. Cleo Miller, leading ball carrier, 9 carries, 58 yards. Pete Johnson, 5 for 23, Strachan 7 for 29 for the Blues. And McCutcheon, 10 for 16. Both teams, 7 points on the board in the first half, 8 first downs for Chiba City, 6 for Steubenville. Some defensive players coming back in that were only out for the half. right cornerback Curtis Johnson and right defensive tackle Dyron Talbert both back in for the Blues. They've got a good cut man on the sideline. Back in '74, Wilmington Chiba City had a Super Bowl that went into overtime. So far, we're 7-7, so possibility of a great finish coming up here. Looks like we may be about ready to start the second half. As we look down from the Goodyear blimp, as they would say when the announcers back in the 70s, best seat in the house. Of course, I always thought people up in the Goodyear blimp looking down and like, is that Detroit there? No, I think that's Toronto. Oh, okay. Best seat in the house. So here we are, kickoff to the 32. Could have taken a touchback. Bruce Harper, a good kickoff returner, brings it back 32 yards. And Chiba City will start with a nice field due to that. Dale's adjusting his computer manager. Both teams with a right linebacker 6, Tom Jackson and Ted Washington for the Blues. Mostly you see 5s in the secondary and back 7 as a whole. So these teams weren't just loaded with 6s on defense. They have really solid offenses, good defensive cards, good pass rush, and you don't have to have all 6s in the secondary to have a great pass defense. Do it with your regulators in the pass rush, and both these teams have done that. Stretching, Cleo Miller. And that it's kind of weird. Before the play, Dennis says Alfred, meaning Alfred Jenkins, gets one more play versus Benny Barnes, and he throws at Barnes, where a 5 was about to come back into play, but a little slow coming back onto the field was the right cornerback, Curtis Johnson, and Benny Barnes could not quite make the play, so pick up a 15 there. Nice play by Fouts. Off track will draw left. Cleo Miller is going to get the linebacker out of the zone. Guessed wrong draw, and it'll be a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6. 62 yards now on 10 carries for Cleo. There's a loss of 1. That's going to make it 3rd and 7. Steubenville staying in the 4-3 defensive set most of the time. Dyron Talbert, 5'8", and a 5'7" at the other defensive tackle. So you don't want to necessarily take Talbert or English out just as a knee-jerk reaction. They're good pass rushers. Makes it a lot easier. Here's a long to Stingley, 1 man deep, incomplete. Tim Fox making the play as a 5. We've seen Fox make a couple of plays on that defensive back end, long zone X or long, plus 33. There's Coleman on the punt, 4th and 7. It's going to be probably let it bounce. Eddie Brown looking inside the 5. He's going to step out of the way and it bounces in the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 20. The Celts take over. Steubenville, of course, named for Baron von Steubenville, or Baron von Steuben from the Revolutionary War. Came over and set up a training program, helped organize the Revolutionary Army at Valley Forge. There's McCutcheon with a nice 9-yard pickup, trying to get off the snide. 10 carries, 16 yards in the first half. 9 yards there on his first run of the second half. Blitz being shown, 2nd and 1. So linebacker Morris, Hacksaw Reynolds jumps in, makes the play. Didn't see Strat use a whole lot of nicknames on their cards, but it's not Jack Reynolds, it's Hacksaw Reynolds. So 4-3 blitz, 3rd and 1. Key McCutcheon, in run McCutcheon, no key out there. He gets 0. Was not a linebacker in the end run zone. 4th and 1. Ray Guy on the punt. 41 yards. There's Bruce Harper. 1-yard return. Take a quick look at Ben Feltz. See what his current attempt. He's got 21 remaining attempts. He's got 13 so far. It's a 3-yard pickup to Benny Cunningham and free safety Tim Fox going out for the game. He's got a 0 in his place. Fox making a couple of plays on long balls. Steubenville had their 3rd defensive injury. The first 2, they got back on the field, but Tim Fox will be out for the remainder of this one. 2nd and 7. It's a possibility he's got a backup 4. We'll see. There's a linebacker draw, guess wrong. Miller lost the ball. Picked up, lost again. Steubenville's going to fall on this one, and no fumble return attempt for Doug Buffone. He will not play the part of the buffoon and lose that gift. Ball at the 36 of the Blues. First break of the second half. That was a snap fumble. We talked about it. Fouts pulling away a little soon there. 1 through 15 on the snap fumble. That was a 14. Cleo Miller picked it up, but on 2nd and long, trying to get into reasonable 3rd down situation, Cleo Miller tried to return it, but he fumbled, and Buffone fell on it. And with a new fresh set of downs in Chiba City territory, he did not attempt to return. There's a 5-yard false start, so it'll be 1st and 15 at the Chiba City 41 for Steubenville. They need to get to the 22 to get a good field goal attempt chance. It's going to be a look in, no men there. Lynn Swan, nice pickup of 14. Hart hasn't thrown much. He's been effective, 7 for 11, 84 yards and a touchdown, no picks. It's an off tackle right. McCutcheon gets strong, short gain. McCutcheon starting to get some yardage. 13 carries, 40 yards. Only 16 at the halfway mark, but he's already got 24 here in the third quarter. 7-7 game. Chiba City trying to hold on defense here from their own 12. Harmon in at fullback. Here's a linebacker Harmon. He's only a 6 fumble. Testerman in, 4-3 blitz. Very solid field goal range for John Smith here. Short to Swan, guessed right. Free safety blitz, incomplete. And again, we see the 1X. Not getting a lot of free safety pass rush coming up for the Blues so far. We've seen that 1X come up 3 times. And we've got a 3 wide receiver, 1 fullback set. McCutcheon in. He's a 2 pass blocker. Blitz being shown. It's going to be short and complete to Shirk. It's going to bring out John Smith. I'm laughing because my cat's got allergies too. I can hear him snoring. And Smith has split the uprights. Nice 2 through 9 field goal for the card set. And 10-3 lead. Steubenville gets on the board after the turnover. Once again, Harper will take it out from the goal line. And with a touchback taking it to the 20, he gets an extra 4 yards on a 24-yard return. (10-7) lead, just under halfway through the third quarter. 1977 IFL Super Bowl. In run right, stretching. He's going to get 5. Buffon's had a good game. Made the play on a 4 on a key play in the red zone. Fell on a fumble, unable to make the play against the run there, setting up 2nd and 5. It's 2 yards, guessed right for Cleo Miller. 3rd and 3. Big down. Linebacker Miller guessed wrong. He's going to get 7. Nice first down for Chiba City. Ball at their own 38, trailing 10-7. Big time blitz. Draw, 7-yard pickup, Cleo Miller. We're seeing Chiba City using the draw a little bit more here in the third quarter. It's a 5-yard pickup for Pete Johnson. First down, midfield. 6 for 28 for Big Pete. The short guess wrong. Jenkins incomplete. Look at that short pass card. Only about 8 completions there. Here's a guess wrong long pass to Alfred Jenkins. Big chance here. Fouts hits Jenkins, 73 yards, 50-yard touchdown. And Chiba City goes ahead. Big play, Dan Fouts. He looks deep. It comes off the receiver card. Alfred Jenkins, one of the better in the set, plus 73. He gets a big hit. And with the extra point, Chiba City goes up 14-10. 3:36 left in the third. As they kick off to the 6, Eddie Brown, nice return of 30 out to the 36. So Steubenville taking over, first time they've trailed in the game. Off tackle right, McCutcheon is going to get stopped for no gain with a linebacker help. There's a flat pass for 13. Finding the empty zone. They had some success throwing at the linebacker 6 early in the game. Had a couple of plays back-to-back, gaining, I believe, 9 and 13 early in the game, or 9 and 15 maybe. So 1-yard pickup on a flat again, this time looking for Swan. Second and 9, incomplete on a flat to Testerman. 3rd and 9 at midfield. Steve Odom into the game, 3-3-5 blitz being shown by Chiba City. Long to Odom. Pass rusher is going to get there. Alan Page beats Forrest Blue. And 4th and 13, Ray Guy will come on to punt. 48-yarder. Down to the 6. It's let it bounce territory for most of us. I return them from the 8. I let them bounce from the 6. Depends on the situation with the 7 usually. That's kind of if I've got a good punt returner game situation, sometimes I'll go for it. Sometimes I'll just let it bounce. So linebacker Miller, guess wrong, beats the linebacker. Bob Bruning unable to make the play there. Bruning taking over for longtime Celtic middle linebacker Leroy Jordan. Here's long to Stingley, guess wrong. Defender X plus 26, incomplete. Mel Renfro hanging in there, makes the play. Renfro, a charter member of IFL, one of the, I believe, early second-round picks in the charter draft way back in 1964, still on the field at left corner making plays. Mike Kudok originally had the Celts, and they were a well-managed team. They didn't make the playoffs, but were one of those teams that was always set for the future, win 6 to 8 games. And Dale has got him into the playoffs several times. The addition of Lawrence McCutcheon was huge back in, I believe, 73. And that really was kind of the piece that they needed to kind of put them over the top. It's a 3-yard pickup for Pete Johnson. We saw Benny Cunningham pick up 16 the play before. And Chiba City out to their own 44, 2nd and 7, 13 and a half minutes left in the game. Linebacker Pete Johnson, guessed wrong, picks up 3, 3rd and 4. Here's again, big time blitz, but guessing pass. And Doug Buffone unable to make the play against the run. Again, coming up with a 6 versus his 4. And that'll be a first down. The Chiba City, or at the Steubenville 49 now. There's Pete, 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. Faustus attempts down to like 6 remaining or so. 4 remaining actually now. Pete Johnson loses a yard. That's a big yard. Had the extra linebacker in the zone. Turn it from a +1, 3rd and 3, to a -1, 3rd and 5. Containment. No blitz. Johnson and Strachan. Short to Jenkins, guessed right. It's going to be a sack. Doug English gets through. And 4th and 13, Greg Coleman on to punt. The dangerous John Kimbrough back. It's going to be a short 17-yarder. Kimbrough anxiously waits. Fair catch. He only had 1 fair catch, 30 punt returns regular season, as you see. The only fair catch there on 11, the opposite reading from his 3 touchdown. And from the Celts 35, down 14-10, Jim Hart comes back out. 10 and a half remaining, regulation. Bob DeBurrow, no man deep. And they're going to get through with the pass rush. Brad Usick. Alan Page caused the sack as a 15 going against Reggie McKenzie, who's a 5 pass blocker, but versus a 15, that was a 1 through 100 chance on the long pass, and he got him with a 61. Second 21, 3-3-5. Testerman in. Steubenville back at their own 24, 10-12 remaining. And Hart looking deep, hits Odom. Huge play, 30-yard pickup. 1 man in zone, gets it off the defensive card. 10 for 17, 128, and a touchdown. No interceptions so far for Hart. Really big play in the game there, 30-yard pickup. Racing a 2nd and very long. It was off tackle Key McCutcheon, and he loses a yard. It's going to set up 2nd and 11. See if Chiba City shows blitz again. They will. It's going to be a right flat to Testerman, incomplete off his card. Too Tall Jones with a 1 through 23 chance working against George Coons, but it came up 56. So Hart was able to get it away, but unable to make the catch. Fullback Don Testerman. And Testerman will be the lone back on 3rd and 11 with Odom back in. 3-3-5 blitz. So left flat to Burrow. He's got an open zone, but it's going to be incomplete. Flag on the play. And we've got offsetting penalties, so we'll replay the 3rd and 11 here. So Steubenville got the right defensive movement they wanted on the play. Just came up off the wrong card. McCutcheon will be the lone back here, 3rd and 11. All fives across the short zone defensively. There's going to be a short gain. Hart looks for McCutcheon. Had the 6 still in the zone, but he picks up the short gain there. Big drive going on here. Steubenville down 14-10 has converted a couple of long down and distance to keep this drive going, and they're at the Chiba City 33. Incomplete on another flat. 2nd and 10. Showing blitz. There's a flat pass to Morris. He's got it. He's going 23 yards. Huge play there. Linebacker 6 came up. Checked the pass rush, but there was no high linebacker. He brought the free safety, but did not have a linebacker coming. Right flat pass. 6-0. Wayne Morris picks up a huge chunk, 23 yards, all the way down to Chiba City 10. 1st and goal. Have to think you're still going to take your field goal if it comes down to 4th and very long, but chance to take the lead in the latter part of this 4th quarter, very tempting here. Steubenville can do that with their pass defense. Fouts running out of pass attempts. It's going to be a penalty offside Chiba City. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 5. We'll see if they go to a full house here or stay in the pro set. Stay in the pro set. 4-3 blitz. Always tempted to sneak in the short pass here, but man, you'd hate to take a sack or throw a pick on 1st down. Linebacker gets right. Harmon gets 1. 2nd and goal from the 4. 6:18 remaining. Short to Swan, guessed right. Touchdown, Jim Hart. Second touchdown pass of the game for Hart, 13 of 22, 169, and a pair of touchdowns. John Smith, I believe 2 through 12. You still miss him, but not going to miss him if it comes up off his card. And 17-14, 6 minutes left. Ooh, is he going to fumble? Nope. 15-yard return on a kickoff to the 15, and he juggled the ball, but the refs ruled that he had already had his knee down, so there's no fumble on the kickoff return. 17-14, Steubenville lead, 5:42 remaining. Field goal will tie the game. Linebacker Pete Johnson gets strong. He's going to lose a yard with the linebacker help. Would have been +3. Second 11. No blitz. Scratching in. Linebacker draw Pete Johnson. It's going to get rid of the blitzing linebacker. Short gain, 15-yard pickup, and first down Chiba City at their own 44. 4.5 minutes remaining. It's been a great 1977 Super Bowl. There's a look-in 12-yard pickup guess strong for Fouts. It's got 3 attempts remaining. The Steubenville 44. We're under 4 minutes. Big fumbles on Fouts and Mike Strachan. We'll see if Pete Johnson might get a carry here. Look at Cunningham. No men there. Big blitz. And illegal motion there. It's going to set up 1st and 15 for Chiba City. Ball at their own 49, or at the Steubenville 49. This might bring Strachan in. Linebacker draw. Johnson gets right. He's going to lose 2 yards. 2nd and 17. Nice call there by Dale, not conceding the run on 2nd and 15. Guess wrong, you're really worried a little more about Strachan than Pete Johnson, but as we saw, Pete Johnson picked up short gain earlier in the drive, but Strachan's the guy with lots of hits for 15 or more. 2nd and 17. It's a big down. 3:18 left. You don't want to punt it. Long to Jenkins. Pass rush coming. 2 men. No men in the zone. Big play coming. It's going to be incomplete. Guessed wrong. We'd have been looking at a receiver with Jenkins. And we saw him go for a +73 for a 50-yard touchdown to give Chiba City a lead earlier in the game. That time Dale guessing right again. 3rd and 17 for Chiba City. Ball at the Chiba City 49. Staying in a 4-3. Fouts down to 2 attempts left. Long to Stingley. No men in the long zone. Big blitz. Incomplete. There's a flag on the play. Illegal contact. That's going to be a first down. So one of the reasons you put the ball in the air on 3rd and long, just like in the NFL, you either get a interference play or an illegal contact, those kind of plays, if it's a pass, it's going to be an automatic first down on everything but offsides. Fouts, 2 attempts remaining still. At the Steubenville 46, they're still struggling field position-wise. We'll take a look at Cockcroft here in a moment. But they need another first down at least. There's a 4-yard pickup. It's going to get us close to 4 minutes. We'll see Cockcroft only a 2 from the 33 out, 2 through 6, 11, and 12, 50-50 on the next level. And then he gains with 7 and 8 at the 22. So want to get down to the 22 if you're Dennis, but at least to the 32. And really to the 30 to get away from any wind variance. 2nd and 6. Won't see a punt. 1-yard pickup. Doug English making a huge play. Needed to be a 5, and he was. That would have been a first down. Little bitty ratings you barely think about during the year. Just one number difference make a huge play at a big game. That could be a play Steubenville looks back on and thinks, man, if I just wouldn't have made that play, who knows what would have happened. Now we're at 3rd and 5. 2 minutes left. They're in Super Bowl 14, 1977 season. Great game. Steubenville leads 17-14, 2 minutes to go. Short to Jenkins, guessed right. Incomplete, and Fouts down to his final attempt, 4th and 5. That big play by Doug English on that defensive left tackle, +1 or +6. Potentially huge. If they can get off the field, Steubenville have a chance to at least run Chiba City out of timeouts. And Fouts, again, down to his last pass attempt. Hard to run the ball on 4th and 5 with containment. No blitz being shown. Free safety has been moving around. We'll see if Dennis might try to go deep, see if he can catch that long man deep. Dump off, still plenty time for the dump off to stay in play. Only goes away with less than 30 seconds left and a half. I would imagine we'll see a short pass or a flat pass, though. Short to Jenkins, no double team. Incomplete, and Steubenville will take over on downs. Huge defensive play by Doug English, coming up with a +1 or +6, only allowing 1. And a first down, almost, if there's no penalties, first down will almost be able to run out the clock. Steubenville and Chiba City aware of that. We'll see a very aggressive defense by Chiba City, I'm sure. Wayne Morris can put the ball on the ground. He's a guy I was trying to key in a similar situation to jar the ball loose. Inram McCutcheon is going to get 0. We'll use the first timeout for the Blues. 1:37 remaining. Ball to Steubenville 41, so no touchdown on the punt return for Chiba City. And Fouts is out of attempts. Off tackle left, McCutcheon. No men there, 4-yard pickup. It's going to set up 3rd and 6. Chiba City stops the clock again. 1:30 remaining. 1 timeout left for the Blues. We'll see who stays in it, who plays at fullback. We've got Morris or Testerman, maybe Harmon. Be Morris. We'll see if Chiba City, nah, they're not going to show blitz. This is more of a running down in this down and distance game situation. Probably see that free safety come up and provide a 6 and run containment up the middle. Off tackle left, McCutcheon. Ooh, picks up 5. And there's only a 5 there for containment. So there's a possibility, if that would have been a plus something or other, that wasn't a guaranteed containment. So 4th and 1. Ray Guy trying to draw Chiba City offsides with the cadence here. If they could get a offsides on Chiba City, it would almost be the game. Nope. 43-yard punt. Bruce Harper, probably hard to say. Might take it. Try to get a big return. Nope. Lets it bounce, hoping to get it into the end zone. It unfortunately puts Chiba City into a bigger hole. Here's Livingston on at quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's no Dan Fouts, but he's not a bad quarterback. He'd rather be in a better game situation than starting at his own 4 with no timeouts, 1:15 remaining, down by 3. See a pro set 4-2-5. Somebody hits a long game, though. Things can change in a hurry, but right now, very desperate times for Chiba City. In run Strachan, trying to get out of bounds. Picks up 13, tackled inbounds. Hard to say if you'll see a spike here or not. He will spike it. Maximum without penalties, maximum of 9 plays at this point. If they all went out of bounds or were incomplete, you could possibly run 9 plays, but you got a long way to go. But that's why he spiked the ball there to save a play. 2nd and 10. Chiba City beat Dallas in a similar situation this year with a long drive with mostly runs. There's a left flat to Cunningham. He's going to get 13 again. Will he get out of bounds? He will not. Those are big plays, getting out of bounds or not. He's going to come up and spike it again, I'm sure. Seven plays max left. But they picked up 26 yards. That's a big thing. Now, if you get a long gain, you're in field goal range. Dump off still in play. So if you get like a dump off plus 30 or such, I mean, you can get the field position. You just are getting low on plays, and having those two stay in bounds cost them a couple of ticks on the clock. It's a flat pass right Cunningham. He's got a guy there. Incomplete. Personal foul against Steubenville. There's 15. So from their own 4, Chiba City's out to their own 45. 37 seconds left. Pickups of 13, and then a 15-yard penalty. So they've had a good start to the drive. And again, Need about 25 yards to get to the 30 and get to a 50-50 field goal chance. So an in-run Strachan is not off the charts. I believe Cunningham. There's an in-run left for Strachan. 17. Will he get out of bounds? No. Those are big, staying in bounds. It's going to have to spike it again. That's going to leave 22 seconds. Now the dump off is off the charts. So we will, with no timeouts remaining, be about 6 yards from 50-50 field goal range with no variance. He's only 2 from 33 out. So if the wind comes into effect and it gets off the 33-37 field goal chart, only a 2 chance. Great game. Back to the 4-3. Inbounds place and a spike. It's going to take it down to 8 seconds. So Chiba City's getting the big plays, 13-13, 15 on a penalty, and 17. But they haven't gotten out of bounds, so they've had to use 3 spikes. It's long to Jenkins. No men in the zone. Blitz coming. Long gain. Touchdown, Alfred Jenkins. Mike Livingston looks deep, gets off the 0 men long and gets a long gain for a touchdown. Cockcroft for the extra point. 8 seconds remaining. Chiba City with the huge drive. 96 yards in the final minute. Here's a squib kick. It's going to be returned out to the 22. And huge, huge play there. Mike Livingston looking deep. Finds Alfred Jenkins. 38-yard touchdown. One second remaining. 3 receivers in. Long to Odom. It's going to be incomplete. And Chiba City is going to win 21-17. What an exciting game. Alfred Jenkins, 50-yard touchdown toward the end of the third, 38-yard touchdown with 8 seconds remaining in the game. Fantastic game. Livingston only 2 for 6 on that drive, 51 yards and a touchdown. 427 to 214 advantage for Chiba City in total yards. It was a really great game. Both coaches, excellent job getting to the Super Bowl, winning their conference. Dennis able to pick up the championship. Very, very close last game. Could have gone either way. Looked like Steubenville, with the play by Doug English, was maybe on their way to winning. Punted, got it pinned down to the 4, but Dennis stuck with the run. Strachan picked up, I believe, 13, and then 13 to Cunningham. 15-yard penalty, then another completion. No, a 17-yard run for Strachan, and huge bomb. That was a great game. And yes, either team could have won. Very deserving champions from both sides of the field, but only one is going to win. Dale, very gracious. That's a tough way to lose. 8 seconds left in the Super Bowl. Dennis has won and lost close games before. He won a very tight Super Bowl in 1974 versus Wilmington and able to pick up the win again in this one. It'll be the third championship as a whole for for Chiba City. 2 from Dennis and 1 from Alan Dieter back in 1970. They'll be the first IFL team to get to 3 championships. And Dennis is right. He has had a lot of disappointing playoff losses. It's not as though he always is on the right side of big plays like that at the end of the game. And once Dan Fouts had gone out, Mike Livingston's like, what have you been waiting for? I was ready this whole game. And comes in, very dramatic fashion, hits Alfred Jenkins for the huge touchdown at the end of the game. 8 seconds remaining. Not in field goal range. Had that been a sack, would have been really tough. They'd have had to try to get the line of scrimmage, spike it, and then it would have been just like a heave-ho. Very, very tough. What a game. We'll see if Dennis will jump on here in a moment. Mike Nemo looks like listening in. Hey, Mike. We'll see Dennis join here in just a second, I believe. Yep, Dale was looking for the pass rush there on that last play. Did not come up. Dennis had some situations earlier in the game, too. There he is. Hey, Dennis, congratulations.
Hey, that was a classic, man. That was amazing.
That was a great game. 96-yard game-winning touchdown drive. How exciting.
That was, I mean, with Mike Livingston, too. Yeah. I thought about going to Livingston in the first half to preserve some attempts for Fouts, but it was just too close of a game. I needed Fouts. And then, one of the things that I thought, Nemo's on here. Livingston came through again. This is Mike Nemurska, Coach Nemo, traded me Livingston in the offseason. That was one of the last trades. I think you can only add 3 players. And because I added him, Dale's in too, add him in. I couldn't take care of my left tackle, my 5-0 left tackle. I had nobody I could bring in to help with the blocking, and there was nobody that wanted to trade one. Hey, Dale. So,
Dennis.
We're just talking about Mike Livingston and how Coach Nemo really won this championship for me just by making sure he traded me Coach Nemo.
I thought you were going. I had a bad feeling. I could not figure out why you would have brought him in that position.
No, I had to.
I just knew. He was going to score.
I had to, but Dale. I didn't want to. Dan Fouts was limited to 21 attempts, and I actually thought that was a good strategy on your part on defense to bring so much pressure from your linebackers, because with so few attempts from Fouts, I couldn't afford to dink around on those flat passes too much. I couldn't have one of those West Coast offense games where I used 30 pass attempts because he would have been out of attempts. So, I didn't want to bring in Livingston, but I had no choice, and luckily he came through.
Yes, then I finally get the pass rush on that last play, and it comes up on my 0% guy. Good.
Yeah.
all those 80s. I had 100 and a 90 and two 80s and kept up on the 0. But that's how it goes.
Yeah, and
Most of you guys have great pass rushes, and like this game, there was a lot of situations where free safety blitz, but it's 1X. So the reading doesn't even come up, and you guys are kind of stuck with the sniper scope showing up and no men in the long zone. And you guys pass rush just wasn't hitting the numbers a lot of the time.
No, it wasn't, and that was a killer. And then, but I think Dennis's pass blocking is a little bit better than mine, but neither one of us are that good at pass blocking.
Yeah, we both have a 0 at the offensive tackle. That it's tough to defend against those guys. When that number comes up, it's always like 88% chance of a sack or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, because that 0 pass block. He's my rookie, though. He's going to get better. Warren Bryant. He wasn't expecting to be a left tackle, starting left tackle on a team that went to the Super Bowl this year. He wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I thought another point that, going into this game, I don't know if Tim talked about it, but I looked at the regular season stats. Yes, you ran more than you passed. But in the playoffs, do you realize that coming into this game, you had only attempted 25 passes and ran like 116 times? So it's like a 4-to-1 ratio. I was like, man, I know he's going to try to switch it up a little bit, because I had thought about maybe just going all out, keying McCutcheon a ton, calling a ton of run. But what I was worried about and what killed me during the season are those, my defense is supposedly poor against the run. And it's because of those like 7 and 8 rolls always get 5 or 6 if nobody's in the zone. Yeah. So whether I was calling run or pass, I was also bringing a lot of linebackers because I didn't want to get like 5-yarded to death by McCutcheon and Morris and Testerman.
Yes, against Jay. I mean, it was intentional. I ran 70 plays, 58 runs to 12 passes, and I didn't know it was going to be that lopsided. But that game was going to be 3-0. I was going to let it be 3-0 because his offense is okay, but he's got to run the ball a lot, and I was just going to take my chances because the only way I thought that I would lose, he beat me in the regular season 27-0, but I threw the ball too many times and just kept getting sacked, and then I had no way to overcome long yardage situations, so I was not going to let that happen in that game.
Well, speaking of long yardage situations, I love that bomb you hit for 30 yards on like 2nd and 21 or something like that. That was perfect. You hit the perfect spot, and I didn't blitz on that place. I was blitzing a ton, but I didn't want to get burned. So that was nice, and it's a good thing I didn't blitz because it was a 1X, and that would have been a long game instead of plus 30.
Yeah, it was a long game. Yeah, we've been moving that guy a lot, and I was like, all right, I wasn't moving the ball for so long there, and I was like, all right, it was almost desperation, but I thought, all right, well, if you keep moving that free safety, maybe I'll hit something because Odom is a really good deep receiver, and he caught it, but I was like, if you would just move that guy. But still, yeah, I needed those 30 yards. That was a breath of fresh air.
Two other really good calls that I thought you noticed a pattern of me when I free safety blitzes was moving the 6th outside linebacker. Yeah. And a couple times you burnt me by throwing flat passes to McCutcheon, and it was like one of them was like a 3rd and 11, and you hit it for a short gain, plus 14. And another time it was just empty man in the zone, short gain on the D card. So well done on that as well.
Thank you. I kept telling Ted Washington he's going to make a big play. I kept saying, live by the sword. Ted's going to be there, and you're going to catch on to that junk here anytime now, and he's going to take a pick 6 or he's going to do something. So, of course, I didn't, not that the best play in the world, throwing a flat pass to a 6.
Yeah, but you did it at the right time. Perfect. So.
Yeah, I thought Doug English was going to come up with the play of the game there on like 3rd or 2nd and 7 or 6. It's +1 or +6. He gets the +1. So instead of 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 5 or 4th and 5, and then got off the field. And I was like, man, they're going to be carrying Doug English off on shoulders. Yes. That looked like the play of the game at that point.
On that last possession, I so badly wanted to throw a pass, but I was like, the field position was. I knew you would have terrible field position. I was surprised. I almost got the first down though on that last play. McCutcheon came 1 yard short, but I just you're only going to have about a minute or so to go. You're going to be deep in your own side of the field. So I'm just going to take my chances on that instead of throwing an incomplete pass or worse yet, a pick and have something wrong, bad happen to me right there and give you the ball back at a real good.
Yeah, I kind of expected Hart to throw me one of those picks, even if it was guessed wrong. He steals like 2 through 6 on a flat pass, and he's not much. He's pretty bad on the short pass too. So I was waiting for that. I needed that interception. He never did it, and I got hit by Fouts' snap fumble, which is his Achilles heel. That's happened to me a couple times. Even Livingston has a little bit of a high snap fumble, but I was lucky to avoid Strahan. How do you say his last name? Not Strahan, but Strachan.
Strachan.
So I avoided the fumbles on him. He's like a 77 fumble guessed wrong.
Yeah, and you were doing so good with him, and so I called run against him a couple times, but I was like, you can't. That fumble factor is so high.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, you can't keep running him with like a 72.7 maybe guessed wrong.
Yeah, and guessed right 133. So 13% guessed right, and that did come up a couple times. So it was just a classic game. I really, win or lose, this was one of those games that was worthy of being a Super Bowl. So
yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
All right. Well, I got to go up and help the wife. We're setting up for a baby reveal, baby shower.
It would sit better with me here, though, if Dan Fouts would have thrown that winning touchdown pass.
I hear you. I hear you. I know Livingston, but it went on the D card, so it could have been any quarterback, and it would have gotten a completion. That was a very lucky roll. I think if you would say, what's the chances of Mike Livingston leading a touchdown drive from the zone 3-yard line with 2 minutes left and no timeouts? It had to be like 3% or something like that.
Yeah, it was about a minute. It was. I think it was close. It was like almost a minute 10 left in the game.
It was very, very fortunate. I just wanted to get in field goal range, and remember, my field goal chances is not good until the 22-yard line.
Yeah,
so
I knew that. I knew you had to get pretty close, and then with Ray Guy punting, and when I thought, okay, because I saw the ball go to around the 10, and you had to decide to catch it or not. I thought, well, that's a heck of a decision you've got to make. Yeah. And so when it got down on the 3, I was like, all right, maybe this strategy is going to work out after all. But then, dang, here you go.
I think it was the right call. I mean, Tim, what would you have done? Punted or gone for it on 4th and 1?
No, I definitely punted. And like Dale, there's no way I put the ball in the air on those last 3 plays. It's just so hard to drive the length of the field and, get, you're out of timeouts. Get all the things that need to work out right. I would have done exactly what Dale did there.
Well, my defense was one of the very best in the league, and they're the reason why we got here. So I was like, well, I feel good. At least it's them and not my offense trying to move the ball to win the game. If it's my defense stopping somebody, I'll take my chances.
Yeah, those Atlanta D cards, I mean, they're just fantastic. It scared me to throw flat passes because I saw you in the earlier playoff games drop your free safety down there, put 2 men in the zone, and then what is the chances of that? Like, 30% if you land on the D card, if there's 2 men in the zone, it's not good.
That's where I got to work with Tim. I keep reading that Constitution, that 1980. I know you're here, Tim, but I really hope in 1980 we stay. I don't want to switch to those. I wish we'd stay with these stock defensive cards. That's just my little plug.
Fair enough.
It makes the league. It helps set the league apart, and this is one of my favorite leagues, and it just helps keep it. I think it's cool. Nobody else does it like this.
Yeah, well, you guys had a great game and great season for both of you. It was a lot of fun watching this game. Hopefully, you'll have a chance to listen to the broadcast, but it was a lot of fun broadcasting the game. I had no idea who was going to win all the way down to the end, and I was kind of watching Fouts' attempts like Dennis is talking about, and it was like, especially coming down to the end, once that punt went way down there, it's like, this is a really tough situation. But I even brought up Dallas had lost a similar game to Chiba City where they had to drive pretty much the whole field at the end on their last possession, and he kept running the ball, getting big hits. I believe it was Cleo Miller that was running it effectively in that game. But I was like, you can't give up on the run here, but there's no way you can call pass. Call run.
Exactly.
Calling pass on defense. I was like, at least going to take some time off the clock, but he kept hitting these plus 17s, plus 14s. And
yeah, and I didn't want to go to that 4-2-5 defense really, but I was so afraid with that 0 in my free safety. And so I went to that so I could play 2 men deep, knowing I was giving up a lot. But I was just, he was out of timeouts, and I was thinking, okay, well, all I really need is a play or 2 on defense, no matter what you get, and it'll still the clock will run out on you. But yeah, you did great job, Dennis.
Yeah, I didn't get out of bounds like I wanted to. A couple times I kept getting tackled right in bounds. So your guys were guarding the sidelines well.
Yes, and I thought that was more. I was like, I was going to win. All right, he can't get out of bounds. It's not going right for him. This is it. And then Mike Livingston had it up his sleeve.
Yeah, and I think that part of the success running the ball on those end runs is maybe one of the reasons why you brought your free safety down on that last play, because you plugged that zone. If I would have run that way, it was going to be on the D card. It was going to be a negative play in all likelihood. So, I got lucky. Let's face it. It was a fun game, and like I said, I've had a lot of.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
it worked. That's all that matters. You got to play.
I've had quite a few heartbreakers in this set, and so I think I was due one lucky one to finally get a championship. So
that's all. Yep, that's cool, man. Congratulations! It was a awesome season, and to me, that was a great way to have a great game.
Yeah, it's a really fun league, Tim, and I echo Dale's sentiments. It's one of my favorites. So I better get off and go help. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Tim, thank you for everything, man. Appreciate it. Great job, Dennis.
Hey, thanks, Dale. And again, congratulations on a great season. There's a lot of tough teams in the NFC, but you ended up winning the NFC and almost got the championship. But, man, that was a really tough year in the NFC. So congratulations on a great year.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. It's I said it again. It's fun, man. I really love this league. So it's cool. It's fun.
Yep. Well, guys like you and Dennis definitely make it a lot of fun. A lot of good coaches, and we've had a lot of good continuity in the league. So thanks to everybody for a great 1977.
Yep, that's great. Yeah, well, keep it going. I want to keep playing in this one. It's a league. To me, it's well worth the time to be in it. So.
Thanks. We'll give a few days for the season to end, but we'll kind of go over some potential rule changes, just minor things, but things like going up to allow dimes or 4 wide receiver sets. We're getting kind of closer to that era, so we can kind of talk about those and see how we want to handle those going forward. But yeah, for the most part, we'll probably keep it very similar to the way it is.
Good, because even though they bite all of us, it just comes and goes. But I really like having the injuries, and I really like having the penalties in the league too. I'm a big proponent of both of those, so I'm glad you've kept them in there.
Yeah, me too. I mean, really, they come up from time to time, but the actual affecting a win or a loss or a championship, it's a pretty remote chance, but it has a lot of flavor, and there's a lot of realistic down and distance things that come up just with that, and really like using the bench players, and that's a lot of the fun of injuries and attempt limitations for me.
I do too, and you've got the injuries limited, so you're not going to lose anybody for the rest of. For longer than the rest of that game, so it's not going to be crippling in that sense. Plus, I always feel like in the NFL with penalties. I know they're not necessarily random, whereas in Strat they are more or less random, but still they can happen at any time. And so to me, that's something that the NFL and Strat have in common. We could get a penalty here any time, and that's how the game goes, and you've got to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, and you think, well, in a clutch situation, they would never do that. It happens all the time in clutch situations. What was it? Von Cincinnati middle linebacker Burfink, Montezi Burfink, 15-yard roughing penalty on Antonio Brown in a playoff game 4 or 5 years ago. Pittsburgh gets an extra down. It changes the playoff game. So it occasionally comes up, but it happens in real life too. Just a funny note about injuries. I've played Strat a long time, and gosh, it would have been probably 1992 or 3. I was having a basketball replay. Larry Johnson had not missed a game all regular season. First time an expansion team of mine got into the playoffs, within the first 3 minutes of game one of the playoffs, he's injured for the entire playoffs because I had like realistic injury. So even though you didn't miss any regular season games, there's a chance. It was really remote, but you could go out. We lost 3 straight games and got eliminated. Lost all 3 by 30 points or more to the Cavaliers back in the Mark Price, Brad Daugherty days. So sometimes injuries are a double-edged sword. They kind of hurt you, but yeah, it adds a lot of realism. And I think you and I have talked about it. It kind of brings up every play has a certain amount of drama when there's injuries and penalties in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I also like, I mean, I know it's not necessarily maybe why we do it, but I also look at the fact, like sometimes, like penalties also, I think sometimes help give the underdog a potential chance because otherwise on the field there, it looks like you have no chance to win this game, but you could get the luck of a big penalty or an injury to the opponent. No matter how slim that chance is, at least it opens up the possibility that, hey, this guy could have got hit by a couple of those, and now next thing you know, I got a chance to win this game.
And I think it gives some appropriate penalties to a team like Dallas this year, who's kind of a plotting kind of team.
Yeah.
And second and 15, second and 20, they're not as good as the rest of the league. And if you're in a situation where there's never going to be a penalty, teams that really struggle on long down and distance kind of get an unfair bump because, you know, if Dallas never faced any second 20s or second 25s, they look a lot better on paper. But, you know, you force them into some, you know, known passing situations and they're a lot more brutal. So
yeah, there's no hope then. They might as well just play for field position and punt at that point.
Yeah. And I do feel like that, you know, is one of those things I kind of feel like I take advantage of with a team or two in modern leagues that, you know, knowing you're not going to have any penalties kind of gives you a different mindset going into, you know, first and 10, second and 10.
It does. It does. Cause you're exactly right. Cause you don't have to worry about a negative play unless your own team makes it, obviously, but you're not going to get that penalty aspect to somehow trip you up.
Yep.
I agree. All right, sir. Well, that was great. Thank you, man. I appreciate you broadcasting this. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dale. And again, congratulations on a great season. And I'll say good night. Everybody have a great Easter.